In March of 2014, we hiked to the top of the Acatenango volcano and spent the night there with our friends Tim and Christy. In August of that same year, we rode horses up part of the Pacaya volcano with our family who were visiting us. I guess somewhere along the line we kind of became obsessed with volcanoes, because in February of 2020 we came back to Pacaya, but this time to hike all the way up to the summit. We start off in Antigua, Guatemala, at the base of OX Expeditions, which is an adventure company who we also used when we hiked up Acatenango. We would definitely recommend them to anyone. After about an hour ride in a van with our fellow adventurers, we arrived at the start of the trail, which begins in a small village on the slopes of the volcano. The first 30 minutes or so of the trail is tough. It was a fairly steep incline that just never seemed to end. We would take breaks every few minutes though, and also the local dogs that accompanied us up and back down the hike kept us entertained along the way. After about an hour and a half of hiking, we finally reached the campsite and could take our packs off. After setting up the tents and getting settled in, we set out again towards the summit. First, we walked across a recent lava flow that was about 9 months old. After a few minutes walking over the uneven terrain, we arrived at a pretty amazing spot. First, you had the beauty of the sun setting over the clouds and the other volcanoes in the distance. It was also getting cooler since the sun was going down, and we were getting higher in elevation. But the earth was providing us a natural heater. We were standing on a hot spot where lava was still cooling under the solid surface we were on, and you could feel heat coming up from below you between the cool breezes. And then they pulled out the marshmallows. And right there, as the sun set in the background, we roasted them from the heat of the volcano. But we weren't done yet. The sun was setting and it was getting dark, but we had another hour or so hike up the toughest sections yet before we reached the top at around 8,400 feet, where we got to watch this. For about 30 minutes, we watched the volcano spit out debris from about 160 feet away. You could hear the lava in the cauldron gurgling and bubbling. Now, this video is pretty poor, but it gives you an idea of what we were seeing and hearing. As we turned to come back down to our campsite, we were met with another wonder. The moon was just starting to rise over the horizon, and it was so big and so yellowish orange that it really looked like the sun was rising. With the sun now completely set, we had to use headlamps on the way down, which made things kind of interesting. Once we made it to camp, though, we ate a hot pasta dinner and then went to bed. Now, the next morning, we were clouded in, so we didn't get to see a sunrise. But after eating breakfast and packing up, we were ready to hike back down. The hike down was, of course, much easier. And since it was a little clearer than it was on the way up, we got to see some nice vistas on the way down. Of our 3 volcano trips we've taken, this one proved to be our favorite. Can't wait to go there again.